Hello and welcome to step 10. So under projects, open, step 10, open. Within this stage, we're going to show you how to do a cut profile and tag some materials and show you the element keynote tag. So the first thing we're going to do is create a cut profile, which is a 2D element which talks to 3D components. Again, this is only relative to the view, and ideally, if you're doing a BIM project, this should be modeled. So what we want to do first is we go up to the View tab, and to the left-hand side, you'll see a little button that says Cut Profile. Select this tool. What we need to do now is hover over the insulation, highlight it, and then click once. The user interface will turn green. We're going to use the Line tool, which is currently selected. And we're going to go up from this point along down to the current insulation that's on the roof, and then back up to the very first orange point that you can see here. Once you've done that, press escape twice. And what we want to do is we want the insulation to continue around this area. So to do that, we need to select this little blue arrow to say that we want it to be inside the pink line. You will also notice that it's not a closed line chain. What it's doing is it's replicating the graphic attributes of this insulation to go around here. Once you've done that, press the green tick and you will see exactly what it's done. Now, as you can see on my screen as well as yours, the top layer of this roof seems to go through the cut profile. So we can use the cut profile tool again to show the changes and differences here. So we go back up to the View tab, choose cut profile again, select the gravel layer, draw one line across it, and make sure that the arrow is pointing to the left. Once you've done that, press the green tick and you will notice that it's hidden the gravel layer which was going through the insulation. Just like before, 2 videos ago, we created some moisture barrier lines. We're going to do exactly the same here underneath the gravel of the roof. So to do that, we go to the Annotate tab, we go to the component, and in your properties palette it should automatically be selected. We have thermal protection barrier. Once you've done that, I would like you to click here and then go out at the same angle and click here, and you will notice that we've put a thermal barrier around underneath the gravel. Again, you must remember that this is all 2D and this does not relate to the model whatsoever. Again, if I was to lower this roof, you will notice none of the moisture barriers move with the roof. So I'll press Ctrl Z to undo that. So the next thing we're going to do is draw some timber fillet here to hold the parapet detail. Again, so we go up to the Annotate tab, we go to Region, we use the Line tool, we make sure that chain is ticked, and we draw a timber fillet here. Once you've done that, press the green tick and you can use the pull handles to align. Again, this is 2D, it's not in the model, and if you were to highlight your parapet detail, you will notice how easy it was to create this profile by simply drawing it in a pink sketch line and telling it to follow the geometry of the walls. Really, the timber fillet that we've done could have been created the same way as the parapet detail, as well as the insulation. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is add some annotation. So if we go to the Annotate tab and choose Spot Slope, and if we go down to our gravel area of our roof and click once and then click again to be above the gravel, then press Escape twice, reselect what you've just tagged, pull the line down slightly and pull it up slightly. and you can press the arrows to make it flip. Within this annotation symbol, we have the options to add a prefix and a suffix. So we can add SL and the percentage symbol to show exactly what the slope gradient is. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is show you a material tag. So we go up to the Annotate tab and then go to the Tag section and choose Material Tag. You'll notice the user interface has gone green, and if you hover over the air barrier and click once, twice, 3 times, then the exterior face, once, twice, 3 times, and maybe the thermal insulation, once, twice, 3 times, and then the concrete, 1, 2, 3. You will notice that it's talking to the material library, and some parts of this detail do not have materials assigned. So for example, if I hover over our parapet and click once, twice, 3 times, the reason why we're getting a question mark is because no material has been added to this. So to do that, if we double click into our parapet, select it, go over to our properties palette, and you'll see material has not been added. So we press by category, then the little blue dot, and type in metal, and we'll go for metal aluminium. And what we do, if we press the identity, you'll see here description that it is empty. If we just copy this and place it in here, press OK, finish the sketch, you'll notice that metal aluminium has now arrived on the tag. But we can also change it once it's been added to the material, so we can just say EX1 for external 1, and it will automatically update here as well as in the material library. The next thing we can do to annotate this detail is if we go back up to the Annotate tag and we actually use the A button, which is under the text symbol, select this. You've most probably seen something very similar in most CAD formats where you can choose particular leaders and lines and placements. So if we choose this one and click here and then here and then here, and if we name it timber fillet and then press in negative space, you will notice that we can manually tag things. You can also change all of this over here, so you can edit the type, the thickness, the width, the color, the arrowheads, etc. Another way of tagging your model is by using Keynote and talking to NBS. So to do that, we go to the Annotate tab. Along to the right, you'll see Keynote, and in the down pull menu, I'd like you to go to Keynote Settings. What we're going to do here is we're going to find the location of the NBS spec. So we go to Browse, a new window will open, and right at the bottom it says Revit Keynotes GBR. Select that, press open. Another window is saying it's been loaded successfully. That's absolutely fine. And I'd like you to change the file path to absolute and the numbering method by Keynote. Once you've done that, press OK. Going back to the tool, so under the Annotate tab, back to the Keynote tool, I'd like you to choose the Material Keynote. And if you hover over your concrete and click once, twice, 3 times, a new window will open, which is pretty much the NBS. So we know this is concrete, so that will be E. Open up E, and it will be the mixing, casting and curing in situ concrete, so that's E10, and we'll just choose E10 132 and then press OK. Once you do that, the NBS spec has now been attached to the material of this concrete, which can be found in the wall build up itself. So if you press Escape twice, select the wall, under your Properties palette, press Edit Type, then go to Structure, edit the structure, then select the concrete and then the little button next to it. And if we go to Identity, you'll notice that the Keynote has been added to Revit annotation information. So that's the NBS spec. And if you'll notice just at the end there's 3 little dots, and this takes you back to the NBS window. So you can load and add all the information to the material library with NBS and tag your project quickly and efficiently by simply hovering over it and selecting all the elements. Once you've done that, press escape so nothing is selected. Okay, so that concludes step 10. I would like you to close your call out of section 2 and do not save.